Singleton on the right wing. To the right elbow, to Brown. To the left wing for a Marin three. Good! Lobos knocked down their first three ball. That's a big one. New Mexico on top, 42-32. Yeah, that's Isaiah Marin in the middle of a 14-0 Lobo run. Marin booked a pair of triples en route to a career night in Dixie. Well, not actually in Dixie. At Dixie State in St. George, Utah. But I wanted to say that. I've been waiting all night to say that. 13 points for Marin. He had 4 boards before fouling out. Marin was 4 of 6 from the floor, 2 of 3 from deep, and 3 of 4 from the foul line. Converted an old-fashioned three-point play, in addition to making the 2 triples on back-to-back possessions. Isaiah Marin, off the bench at the point, was outstanding tonight. The Lobos win it 72-63. You're locked into the post-game show brought to you by the Downs Racetrack and Casino. Robert Portnoy with Hunter Green. Hunter, there are a few different things we can focus on. I asked Coach Weir what stood out most for him. What stood out most for you about the win tonight for UNM?
Well, the play of Marin, the freshman, you could see him just gaining confidence, especially in the second half. So I thought that stood out the most for me.
That's on an individual basis. What about on a team-wide basis?
The beginning of the second half, the energy they brought defensively, being able to shut down Dixie State early in the second half. I mean, they came out strong, and I thought that was key for them in the second half.
Lobos win it 72-63, shoot 42% from the floor. Just 2 of 12 from 3, but it wasn't of consequence tonight. The Lobos were 16 out of 23 from the foul line, and they were clutch. 13 of their last 14 they knocked down. Some guys who hadn't been shooting it all that well from the line did it, including Saquon Singleton, who finished 7 of 10. The Lobos out-rebounded Dixie State 50-39. That was big. It led to a paint points advantage of 46-22. The Lobos took care of the ball. Only 10 turnovers. Dixie State only 7. Dixie State held to 33% field goal shooting and 8 of 24 from deep. And we talked about that with Coach Weir. They made 3 of their first 6, then went 1 of 11 before a couple of late ones. So he liked the way the Lobos were contesting at the three-point line.
Well, especially, Dixie State being guard heavy, and we thought, Gooden would really give them fits.
Right.
Gooden didn't score from the field. I mean, he scored 2 points.
Right.
Yeah, 2 points from the free throw line. So credit the defense, especially, again, in the second half. The Lobos brought it.
That's an excellent point, Hunter, because we thought the first couple of minutes of the game, Gooden was kind of getting his in terms of, creating, right?
And transition.
Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Lobos couldn't stay in front of him.
Right.
But they obviously did a very nice defensive job on him. He did have 5 assists and 3 steals, didn't turn it over. But as you pointed out, no field goals. Okay. Some individual numbers. Lobos led by a career high from Saquon Singleton, 17 points. Career high for Isaiah Marin, 13 points, and 12 from Aquach Malawach, who was 5 of 12 from the field. The Lobos got balanced scoring tonight. Manuel with 8, Matos with 8. Rod Brown missed by a bucket from a double-double, 8 points and 12 rebounds and 12 boards to lead the Lobos. New Mexico won off a program record, a dozen blocks. They had 11. Both Singleton and Manuel with 4 blocks, Hunter. You love that interior defense.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the length of Manuel. He was using it effectively here tonight, and that was a big reason why Gooden couldn't get off. He'd get to the rim and just couldn't convert.
And whenever the penetration came from the perimeter players for Dixie State, there was a Lobo big waiting for you.
Yeah, whether it was Matos or Manuel.
Yep, and New Mexico with a great night, 11 block shots in all. One thing, I guess, stickbacks and good individual play, but still 9 assists on the 27 field goals. You'd like to see that assist number a little higher.
Oh, for sure. And I asked Coach, why did they struggle so much at the rim? In the first half especially. Maybe they were just pressing, and for whatever reason, they just weren't able to convert. They were getting good looks at the rim, and that was a strategy offensively. Put it on the floor, get to the rim. But they got comfortable in the second half, and they were able to convert those, especially in transition off defense.
I loved what Coach Weir said about the character of his team. When they got down 24-16, the basket looked small. The interior shots weren't falling, and coming off 6 losses, having the poor practices leading up to the last Utah State game, getting blown out, getting chewed out by your coach. Lesser character, some folks might curl up in the fetal, right?
No,
but this team rallied.
They did, and you gotta. I don't care if it's against Dixie State,
right?
First-year Division I team, to get a W. It helps. It's a little feel good, because after losing 6 in a row, man, that's so demoralizing. And this is going to be a little feel good, at least until Saturday.
Right. Okay. Wanted to give you an opportunity before we sign off tonight. Just a few short days ago, at the end of last week, your very close friend Kelvin Scarborough. It was digital, right? A nice service for Scar.
So November 30th, we lost Kelvin Scarborough, a Lobo family member, a friend, a teammate, a brother. Very difficult for me, and so there was a service held on Friday the 8th, and it was done remotely on like a Zoom or digitally, and I wanted to give a thank you to all the Lobo supporters and fans and friends who, from the Scarborough family, that supported, that either sent condolences, support financially to help make that happen. So wanted to give a thank you to all those that supported the Scarborough family.
We can hear the emotion in your voice, and I know that you called him a brother.
Yeah, no question. We came here 37 years ago, and we had some great battles out there on that pit floor, and even in life. I mean, he would call me daily, and we would talk about. He loved to live in the past and talk about old times because he could remember them. I couldn't. But, he's definitely going to be he's a dear friend and will be missed.
And a testament to this community, 2 former Lobo greats who stayed here in Albuquerque to live out their lives.
Yeah, no, I mean, and he taught me a lot, and one of the things he really taught me was to recognize and be grateful and to give back. To the fans and the people here in this community that gave so much to us, from the support on the pit floor, just and in life. So, I'll forever be grateful for that.
Well, and you have been a very successful businessman in this community and created a bunch of jobs for people right here in Albuquerque and put down roots here. And I know this is your home.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, I've lived here longer than I've lived anywhere else, and I've got a lot of friends, and my family's here, and this is home.
Imagine that, an L.A. kid finding his way to Albuquerque and never leaving.
Oh, and, it's funny. My friends and family back home say, why are you in New Mexico? And I tell them, come out and visit. I'll show you.
That's awesome, Hunter. Well, Kelvin Scarborough, a true Lobo legend.
Yep.
All right, for Michael Carlisle, my on-site engineer, my producer and engineer, Mike Vitale, and my broadcast partner, Lobo all-time great Hunter Green, I'm Robert Portnoy. We'll tell you that the Lobos get back to conference play. They do it in Vegas against the Runnin' Rebels, 3:30 Mountain Time on Saturday this weekend. Our airtime, 3 o'clock, with your Lobo basketball pregame show as New Mexico and UNLV get the first of 2 in their Mountain West Series for regular season play. They play Saturday and Monday coming up on the 16th and the 18th of January. The 6-game skid is in the rearview mirror. The Lobos now look for their first conference win this weekend. Your final score for the final time: New Mexico wins at Dixie State. UNM 72, Dixie State 63. Final. You're listening to Lobo Basketball on the UNM Sports Radio Network.